Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, is going to answer a very important question with Saturday night's, March 4, 2017, UFC 209 pay-per-view, PPV, event, scheduled for T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Who is the true champion at 170 pounds? Since Tyrone Woodley and Stephen Thompson battled to a draw at UFC 205 back in November, we still don't know who rules the welterweight roost. Hence, our 5-round main event in Sin City. In the former CO headliner, Khabib Nurmagomedov was pulled from his Tony Ferguson bout after being hospitalized for weight management medical issues. More on that here. On the bright side, we still have Mark Hunt versus Alistair Overeem, among others. Sad face. To see what's doing on the UFC 209 prelims card split across Fox Sports 1 and UFC Fight Pass, head over to Patty Stumberg's comprehensive breakdown here and here. For all the UFC 209 odds and betting lines, click here. Enough potatoes, let's get to the meat. 170 pounds, Tyrone the Chosen One Woodley, 16-3-1, versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, 13-1-1. Nostradamus predicts. I don't think there is much I can say about the first fight between Tyrone Woodley and Stephen Thompson that hasn't already been said ad nauseum in the months after their 5-round draw at UFC 205. But I have a word count to hit, so I'll say it again anyway. Thompson, one of the premier strikers in this, or any, division, was a muted version of himself, realizing just how unpleasant it can be to get taken down and pounded on by the Chosen One. That reduced output took away his best tools, which carried him to victory over the likes of Rory MacDonald and Johnny Hendricks. Similarly, Woodley was also keeping his arsenal in check, though I reckon that was to conserve power for the later rounds. The strategy worked, as Wonderboy was on his ass and nearly finished on 2 occasions. What changed between now and then? Not much. If Thompson is going to win this fight, he has to be fearless. Woodley is going to shoot, but it's hard to be an effective wrestler in reverse. Just look at how Big Rig was backed up and beaten senseless because of Thompson's forward pressure. For as many times as the Chosen One has looked phenomenal, Robbie Lawler, Dong Hyun Kim, he's looked equally putrid, Rory MacDonald, Kelvin Gastelum. He probably has more ways to win this championship rematch, but his inconsistency gives me pause. Not enough to pick against him. This fight will be won or lost on confidence, which means the first couple of takedowns will dictate how this contest plays out. If Wonderboy can stuff them, he should be able to go all the way. If not, he's in for a long night. Final prediction, Woodley def. Thompson by unanimous decision. 155 pounds, Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov, 24-0. Versus Tony Alcuki Ferguson, 22-3, Nostradamus predicts. I predict the Eagle gets hospitalized and pulled from the card. Final prediction, they don't fight. See how good I am. 185 pounds, Sugar Rashad Evans, 19-5-1, versus Daniel Kelly, 12-1, Nostradamus predicts. Former UFC light heavyweight champion Rashad Evans hasn't been seen in almost a year, thanks to a series of pre-fight medical snafus that booted him from UFC 205, and then again from UFC 206. When we did see him last, Suga was looking up at the lights following a series of doomfists from Glover Teixeira at UFC on Fox 19. Prior to that, Evans returned from an extended absence in a losing effort to Ryan Bader at UFC 192. It's been over 3 years since he's seen the win column. What helped propel Evans to the top of the 205-pound weight class, long since abandoned for greener pastures at 185 pounds, was a combination of speed and power. It appears both of those attributes have suffered as the Ultimate Fighter, TUF, 2 champ reached the second half of his 30s, he's now 37. But we won't really know just how far he's fallen until fight night. Dan Kelly is not a top 10 fighter. That doesn't make him a bum, but there is reason this fight was slapped together. A victory for Evans gets him back into the win column and another chance to fight someone in the upper echelon of the division, while victory for the Aussie gives him a name under his belt, a conduit for bigger and better opportunities. Kelly turns 40 this October. What we have here is a decorated collegiate wrestler against an Olympian who spent his entire life mastering judo. As we saw with Ronda Rousey and Kelly's knockout loss to the heavy-handed Sam Alvey, that only takes you so far. Evans may be in the twilight of his career, but he's still far and away the superior striker with a quick jab and plenty of power. Kelly will need to get him down and keep him down to get something going from a submissions perspective. Considering Suga has never been submitted across 13 years and 25 fights, I don't see that happening. Final prediction, Evans def. Kelly by technical knockout.